On this week's episode of Devil's Trap Podcast, we have all these new Food Network shows that Supernatural is sponsoring, like Cooking with Kraken.
And Cass's special sandwich, PB and Grace Jelly.
And don't forget Home Shuckin' with Murder Daddy. Let's do this.
Shuck yeah. Welcome to this week's episode of Devil's Trap Podcast. I'm Diana.
And I'm Liz.
And this week we got Season 9, Episode 11, Firstborn.
Firstborn, which I was not.
I was.
That you were. That explains a lot if you didn't know. Diana's a firstborn.
Oh, man.
How are you? What's up? What's going on?
You know, just keeping busy, and I went and saw some music, which, you know, is totally shocking.
What?
Never do that. I know. Yeah, Matt Heckler was really good, and then he was opening on tour for Benjamin Todd and the Lost Dog Street Band. Super fun show. Matt Heckler, by the way, is an incredibly talented multi-instrumentalist with a unique voice. If you get a chance to see him do that, Lost Dog Street Band and Benjamin Todd are phenomenal. But yeah. There we go. And then getting ready to go to Nashville for a few days.
Yeehaw.
That's what I got going on. How about you?
I also went and saw a talented what did you call him? A multi-instrumentalist? I guess that's what you call Scott. Like, I went and saw Scott H. Byram. He played down here in San Antonio, and he knows. I won't make him sad. If you're listening to this, hi Scott. I haven't talked to you since like 1995. No, it's been a while. No, I have talked to him since then. But he is from around my group of San Marcos people. But he's much bigger than my group of friends that I went to college with. He's a very well known musician who is quite talented, and I think was possibly competing with Thursday Night Football or some crap like that. But it was a good show. And then more excitingly, though, I had my aerial rig delivered this weekend, and I'm very excited to go spinning in hoops while looking at the Texas Hill Country, which will be pretty phenomenal and dreamlike and amazing. And I promise I will be safe and always do this with somebody spotting me. I promise. No. I will be safe. At least I will be safe.
Okay. You got a crash pad, though, right?
I do have a crash pad, and it's lots of fun.
Sounds fun.
Crash pads are just fun in general. Yeah. I was actually at I was at a studio today, and I crashed onto the pad, and it was from a very short distance, but you could tell the teacher also teaches elementary school kids, because she was like, "Oh my God, are you okay?" And I'm like, I literally fell like a foot onto a pad. I'm pretty good. I was expecting this to happen because I was upside down, and that's always when I fall anyway. You know, shockingly, I fall when I'm upside down. Huh. But I was upside down and trying to hang from a circular hoop with my legs, and I wasn't far up enough on my back, and I was way too much on my butt, and so like I just fell down the front of the hoop, I guess, like because I was there. I didn't have enough junk in my trunk to stop me from down. I knew that's where I was going. So, but it was still fun. Yeah. I don't mind falling. So, and shout out to the Acrofab guy who put it together for me, so I didn't have to. So,
Acrofab?
Acrofab, they're a company out of Houston.
That's just a cool word.
They're a cool name. They're a cool place. They made my new Lyra. And his aerialist girlfriend has the same name as my cat.
That's awesome.
I thought that was cool. The simulation's just fucking lazy at this point. Just we don't have any more names. Like, what's this guy's girlfriend's name? What's her cat? Anya? All right, fine. There's an Anya. So, anyhow, let's get going and talk about Firstborn. Yeah. And according to the Supernatural Wiki, that could be a reference to the fact that Kane was the firstborn of Adam and Eve. Well, way to think on that one. Deep. It was deep. Yeah. And this was season 9, episode 11. It first aired January 21st, 2014, and was directed by the legendary John Badham. Did I see his last name? Badham? So this was his first time on Supernatural. However, he directed War Games, Saturday Night Fever, Short Circuit, Stakeout. Modern credits include, Arrow, Nikita, Constantine, that show, Psych, Criminal Minds. He teaches film at Chapman. So just, he is a powerhouse, and he ends up directing some Supernatural stuff, which is pretty cool. And this was written by Robbie Thompson. We last saw him write Slumber Party. So we already know this is going to be just with that itself, a pretty epic episode. So yeah, we start off with our recap though, and there's my girl Abby, and Dean's just full of his lies.
Yeah, we got Abaddon, Dean's lies, Metatron, Kevin dying, them teaming up with Crowley, and then Sam and Dean's breakup.
Dean's pity party.
Yeah. And we open in Jasper Springs, Missouri in 1863. So Civil War.
Civil War. And this is the point where I wish I had my coconut horse sound on demand. So I could just make that. So there's a horse that is riding up. And he's riding out to a bunch of Confederate soldiers who must protect the night.
Yeah. And they are all demons in this little cabin thing. And then we have enter super hottie.
This really good looking man kicks down the door, and he is welcome to do that here anytime he would like. And but he grabs like a jawbone.
Yeah, he's got like this weird jawbone thing in his hand, and then all of a sudden we cut outside, and there's a red light, and all these guys are dying.
I'm not sure if this is true or not. So in the trivia for this, like somewhere online, it may be on the wiki, it says that Robbie Thompson would just like drew the blade and they just like went with it. Like he was like, I don't know, something like this, and it was made like a cartoon drawing, but I don't know. This thing is hilarious. It's just it's hilarious and gross.
Yeah, so it's weird and gross. Weird and gross. It doesn't seem very effective as a blade.
Also does not seem like a blade. I'm going to be the first to say it. Blades cut things like, what is it going to chew?
They have a sharp edge. I mean, you could argue, I guess it's serrated on one side. I don't fucking know. But like, this is...
I'm going to K9 you.
I feel like you'd have to like saw at somebody for a very long time if you were going to attack them with this. Hold still. I'm going to lose my spot.
Oh, damn it. Like, and then like a tooth falls out. It does not seem like an effective weapon, but anyways, gross.
But Dean's at a bar. And
he's shockingly making eyes at a waitress.
I mean, what else would he be doing? But Crowley poofs in to sit next to him and plays with a red carnation from the bar. And Dean's like, what the fuck are you doing? I told you that next time I saw you, I was going to kill you. And Crowley's like, yeah, you need to move on from that. And you move on from this because this bar is a bust. I need your help to destroy Abaddon.
Yep. And that's where we kind of figure out that this is the bar that Gadriel was at.
Yeah. Because it didn't look like it.
It didn't. It takes you a moment. You're like, oh, yeah. But that bar looks like every bar.
It does. So either way, but Crowley's like, yeah, I'm looking for the first blade. I've been looking for it for decades. And Dean's like, I've never heard of it. And Crowley's like, but maybe your dad has. So I want to look at your John Winchester's library about it.
Yeah, Crowley wants to know if it's in the journal. And he also wants to have, a good buddy comedy with Dean. But Dean just pulls out this journal and immediately goes to where he's talking about it. And I guess, at this point, he would know.
Yeah, I think they have an index system. I don't know. It's very confusing. But yeah, he finds something that mentions Abaddon's, them torture or whatever, killing Abaddon's protege. And there's some numbers written down in the margin. And apparently it's a code at the storage locker. There might be something there.
Sadly, we didn't have time for the montage, which I was hoping would happen. But no. I love a montage.
No montages. Just Dean and Crowley going to the storage locker to look for clues about the first blade. And they were being spied on by a demon the whole time.
And my question is, and later we'll learn maybe something different, but how would Crowley not know that there is a demon at the bar?
That's weird, right?
I would think that's weird. I would think Crowley would be aware of that.
Yeah, I would think so too. And I didn't think about that at this moment in time. And then I thought of it later and I was mad. So
I thought about this moment in time, but I also have I would say a crystal ball called my brain. I've seen a lot of this before. Well, so we go from there to bunker and Cass eating peanut butter and jelly sandwiches, which is probably why I got some like peanut butter and strawberry, like healthy, like protein bar type thing. I blame this episode. Get it? Probably won't taste the same.
A good old peanut butter and jelly is great. Except I don't like grape jelly. I'm very particular about. I don't
mind grape jelly. I think also because I didn't have that often, so that's a treat sometimes if I get it.
Well, he is very apprehensive about eating this peanut butter and jelly because it tastes like molecules, is what he tells Sam.
Yep, and he liked jelly because jam shakes like that, and it was unsettling.
Yeah. And in general, he was just realizing that some of the things there were a lot of things that were annoying about being human, but he really enjoyed food and tasting food.
Food's good.
A good point.
Food.
Yeah. So there, he's like, but either way, tasting all these molecules is disgusting, but regardless, I need to finish healing you, Sam. So we got to work on this. And when he's healing him, he notices something's wrong that he tries to lie to Sam about, but he's not a good liar. And, but basically there's something angelic resonating inside of Sam.
Yeah, I thought it was a cute exchange because Sam's just, Sam's like, you're a terrible liar. And Castiel's like, that's not true. I once deceived you and your brother, like for a very long time. That's so true. Technically he's right.
That is true. But yeah, there's something angelic resonating inside of him, and Castiel kind of wants to call Dean about it. He's like, we kind of need some help here, and Sam's like, no, not calling it.
We can handle this.
So Dean and Crowley make it to the storage locker, and Dean made Crowley wear a hood to come in so he wouldn't know where the place was.
He
funny.
does.
So did he have it on for like the whole ride? Like,
I don't know, or maybe just at some point. But then he said, Crowley's like, it's just not fair because I've been inside your brother, practically family, and that is the title of my next. No. So Dean does not like this at all.
And not amused.
Yeah, not amused.
Not amused. And he definitely calls Crowley a dick bag. And they're searching for anything about the first blade, though. And I like Crowley's description of the decor in the storage locker as rustic obsessive and paranoid deco.
Yeah, I am familiar with that style.
So, but finally Dean finds a note about this. And basically he was working with another hunter. John was working with another hunter named Tara. And
the T doesn't stand for terrible father. I'm glad that also Crowley can point out, like, it's really sad when the king of hell is pointing out how shitty of a dad you were, Mr. Winchester.
It's bad. So basically, though, they did interrogate and exercise this demon who mentioned the first blade, and that's it. And like Crowley asks, he's like, didn't they teach note taking at Hunter's Hogwarts?
I
liked it.
I did too.
Yeah. So back at the bunker, Castiel has found something in a Enochian that basically says that when an angel possesses a human, they like leave this vessel with like some essence of themselves.
Yeah, a piece of themselves behind, like a fingerprint. But I think that kind of makes sense, right?
Yeah.
You're inside of you. When someone's inside of you, they leave a little piece behind.
Liz.
I have seen enough Dateline to know that is true.
But it contains grace, and they could use.
That's what you want to call it.
because they can use the grace to do a tracking spell for Gadriel. But they have to extract it from Sam. They have to extract the grace from Sam to be able to do the tracking spell. And they have to use this really creepy needle that the Men of Letters invented but never got to use.
They also had like one little file on the inner working of the angels that had James Haggerty on it. And I don't know if that went to anything. I don't think it did. No. But yeah, it was just like, so the tiny one little file folder on the inner workings of angels. But also I like the way their stuff is labeled. Damn, I can buy a typewriter. All right. So
I like that Sam refers to himself here. Sam's like, we're doing this. Let's fucking go. But he refers to himself as the guinea pig that the Men of Letters never had. And Castiel is very excited that he might have a furry friend.
Yeah, I was like, where's the guinea pig? I want a guinea pig.
Yeah, where is it?
So we go from there to the pawn shop, and there we meet Tara, who reminds us not to skip arm day at the gym. Jesus fucking Christ, this good. Woman has the best guns. Jacked. Like,
she's
wow.
Yeah, like good, like lean muscle, but like jacked, but not like bodybuilder jacked. Like,
yeah, no, just
on point. On point.
Ugh. I want to know your routine, but I don't because I don't want to do it. But I want to look at your arms and be jealous of your dedication. Okay, so this is Tara,
and she's reading a Lock and Key graphic novel when we cut to her. So it's kind of interesting.
And her name is Tara. Lock and Key. Yeah. Okay, there's a reference. If there's characters. So.
Oh.
You brought up that she was reading Lock and Key, so I thought you knew. Okay, no. But okay. So anyhow, so her name is the same as the character in Lock and Key. All right.
Cute.
But her knee is also acting like Diana's knee acts most of the time, and mine acts like 10% of the time.
Yeah. So, and she's like, basically, she's like, are you Sam or Dean? And then she tells him that she said, didn't you grow up pretty?
And he sure did.
And he's like, yeah, I'm in the family biz. Tell me about this case. But she is staring Crowley down and promptly pulls a shotgun on him. And he's like, she's like, since 92, I get a painful tickle in my knee when a demon's around. And Crowley's like, cool. I'm gonna go get some coffee while y'all figure this out. But he can't poof out because there is a devil's trap underneath the fake Persian rug.
I've asked Babe to make us a heavy metal guitar sound. I'll have to remind him to do that. So in the meantime, until we do that, I'm just going to make I don't know how to make that guitar noise. I need the melodica. All right. And so tell Dave if he doesn't make us a metal sound, I'm making a melodica noise to go in Devil's Trap. All right. So he is stuck on a Devil's Trap. And she thinks that Dean is likely possessed, and that's why he's working with the demon.
Yeah, because why else? And then
why else would he be?
Then she throws holy water in his face to test it.
And it doesn't stop being funny. It just doesn't.
No, it's still funny. And he agrees that Crowley is a jackass, but he is actually working on this case with us because we're trying to find this first blade to kill this knight. So she's like, well, she tells Dean that he is as handsome as John and as dumb as John if he's looking for the first blade, which is funny. But yeah, so she gets her files out, and like, apparently the legend is that archangels use this weapon that could kill the Knights of Hell. But the demon told them about this, and then they killed the demon, and then they had a lovely weekend, her and John, and then they never talked again.
Yeah, I wish there was some way to like make the timing of this work to be like, this is Dean Winchester's real mom. No. But she couldn't let the idea of the blade go. So she basically has been working on this spell, and she's working on a spell so long that she has gotten a container for the ingredients that exactly matches all of the ingredient sizes and shapes, except for one empty spot, because she had time to shop for this. Like, it was a while.
Man, you are obsessed when you do that, right? Damn.
She went to the container store.
Oh my gosh! So this, she's looked all over the world, and it destroyed her knee and her life. So what she needs, though, is the essence of Kraken.
Release the Kraken.
And guess what Crowley has?
He has my future job, which is managing a warehouse of Kraken and police. I didn't know that was an option. Or Kraken essence, I guess. Because I don't think it's like a warehouse of Krakens. It's of the Kraken essence.
Yeah.
How does one acquire the Kraken essence? Enough of it to get a warehouse full.
And why Belize? I mean, don't get me, why not?
Is
but
there
also,
like the Kraken of Belize? Like, is that a thing?
I mean, is it just easy? Like, I mean, we know it's easy to travel there. It is,
Is that what John McAfee was making down there? Was Kraken essence?
Maybe.
I don't know. So anyhow, so all she has to do is to break the trap.
Yeah. Yep. And he's like, so he's gonna go. So Crowley's gonna go get this. And so after she kind of like hesitates, she agrees. She uses a shotgun to blow a hole in it, though, which
seems a little aggressive. And I mean, I know you got some stuff to work out, but it's also your store, and that's your floor.
And she's like, I'm still not like weirded out that you're working with this fucking king of hell dude. He's like, no. Dean's like, no, I'm going to handle him next. Don't worry. And she's like, yeah, you sound like your dad when he said he'd call.
Damn, John Winchester, you're a piece of shit.
So like, you weren't just a shitty dad.
You were just a shitty dad, but you told her you'd call? Fuck you, man. Oh. So Crowley has returned with our essence of Kraken.
Yeah. And so they mix all these
artisanal.
And they mix these in her, like, she's got like one of those clear Pyrexes ready to fucking go.
And a very weird map.
Well, it's this weird U.S. map. So here is what my question mark was. How do they know that this is in the fucking U.S.?
And it's like, but then it's not even just it's a very specific part of the U.S. It's mainly focused on like the top half.
Yeah.
And we're kind of over the middle, right? Because we're Missouri. We just happen to make sure that Missouri is in the middle of this. Yeah. And so, maybe that was part of the thing that like you had to use this.
This is the map.
You had to use this map in order
to
find. Okay,
sure.
Sets it on fire, but it does seem like fun. I want to burn a map up and have it like end in like one little thing. That seems really cool.
Dump the ingredients on the map. Set the ingredients on the map on fire, and then all that we left is the place where
what's left is Missouri.
Yeah. So they're going to the spot in Missouri. And Crowley does kindly invite Tara to join them. And she says that she would go with Dean anytime, but with Crowley,
never.
So, anyway, Dean and Crowley drive off and they pull up to this farmhouse. And there's like this like late 40s Chevy truck outside. It's a pretty farmhouse out in the middle of nowhere. And Crowley's like, I feel something dark. And Dean's
cramps. Well, did he not have cramps? I have cramps. And so I was just like, Crowley has cramps too.
And then Dean's like, darker than you? And we see a beekeeper. And Crowley kind of freaks out.
He freaks out because that is not a beekeeper. It is the father of murder.
Yeah.
Murder.
Yeah. AKA Kane.
And he wants to leave, but the beekeeper is there. Yep, I did have it. The beekeeper is there and takes off his mask to reveal Murder Daddy. And
Murder Daddy.
I told you I had it in there. So he knows who he is. All right, so we're going to talk about some lore, I guess what we're calling it.
Yeah.
Just because I think we need to get we would assume that most people know who Kane is, but you know what they say about assuming. And one of the ideas that I did toy with here was to read one of the children's book versions of the story, but they were just too dark. Don't read your children versions of Cain and Abel. No matter how you do it, it's fucked up. So here is a straight up Hebrew Bible as translated by Robert Alter in translation 2008 in the 5 books of Moses. So I have prepared Diana. She put some salt around her, I think, just in case, something happens. So
it's on all the cords.
Yep. So The story of Cain's murder and his consequences as told in Genesis 4, 1 through 18. Now, the man knew his wife Eve, and she conceived and bore Cain, saying, I have produced a man with the help of the Lord. Next, she bore his brother Abel. Now, Abel was a keeper of sheep, and Cain a tiller of the ground. In the course of time, Cain brought to the Lord an offering of the fruit of the ground. And Abel, for his part, brought of the firstlings of his flock, their fat portions. And the Lord had regard for Abel and his offering, but for Cain and his offering he had no regard. So Cain was very angry, and his countenance fell. The Lord said to Cain, why are you so angry, and why has your countenance fallen? If you do well, will you not be accepted? And if you do not do well, sin is lurking at the door. Its desire is for you, but you must master it. Cain said to his brother Abel, let us go out to the field. And when they were in the field, Cain rose up against his brother and killed him. Then the Lord said to Cain, where is your brother Abel? He said, I do not know. Am I my brother's keeper? And the Lord said, what have you done? Listen, your brother's blood is crying out to me from the ground, and now you are cursed from the ground, which has opened its mouth to receive your brother's blood from your hand. When you till the ground, it will no longer yield to you its strength. You will be a fugitive and a wanderer on the earth. Cain said to the Lord, my punishment is greater than I can bear. Today you have driven me away from the soil, and I shall be hidden from your face. I shall be a fugitive and a wanderer on the earth, and anyone who meets me may kill me. Then the Lord said to him, not so. Whoever kills Cain will suffer a sevenfold vengeance. And the Lord put a mark on Cain so that no one who came upon him would kill him. Then Cain went away from the presence of the Lord and settled in the land of Nod, east of Eden. Cain knew his wife, and she conceived and bore Enoch, and he built a city named it Enoch, not rock and roll, after his son Enoch. I don't know. So that is the story of Cain. So if we want to break it down. So
we are not beatboxers, obviously.
Why? I'm a kangaroo hop all over your ass. All right. So the first thing is, so there's Cain and there's Abel. They came from Adam and Eve.
Yep.
There are some stories where Cain, I think, comes from Lilith. There's also there's a whole bunch of different versions, I think. So, but the main thing for this canon is Cain was a farmer. His brother raised sheep.
Yeah.
Cain offered God some lettuce, and Abel said, would you like some fat sheep ass? And the Lord said, giveth me the fat ass. And I like it thick, I guess. And Cain was like, no, you like my lettuce. And then he was like, hey, come here, Abel. And then he killed him with a jawbone.
Sure.
I think that's about it.
Supposed to be a big sheep jawbone?
Maybe it was a sheep. Yeah, I bet that's it. That's what he killed him with. Yep. So that would explain what that jawbone is. So Cain was a little bitch in the story and got really mad because he tried to do something and he was jealous, and his work, what he worked was good enough for him, was not good enough for somebody else, and it made him sad.
Yeah, bullshit.
Yeah, but all of it is just, so, and then he also gets a mark put on him, which will maybe we'll need to know about
we'll
later.
Learn about this. Yeah.
Yeah. So just imagine that story in a children's book. Good Lord. Literally. It was something.
That's a lot for kids.
It's not for a kid's book. It's for an adult book too. So
it's just a lot.
It's just a lot. It's just a lot. There's a lot of things going on there.
Yeah.
So, all right. So we get back, and now we go to the cabin,
which is very bee-centric decor. The decor is very, very bee-like. Anyways, and Dean's like, Crowley, why aren't you just poofing out if you hate this place and you want to leave? And Crowley's like, I'm not going to leave my domestic partner in crime. But Dean's like, it's because you can't fucking leave, obviously. So we get the story that Cain killed Abel and became a demon. Not just any demon, the deadliest demon. and the best at being the worst. And then he disappeared because everybody just hoped he was dead, basically.
And I think that's a very interesting thing, right? I think this is the first time within the canon that we've had a demon that, besides Lucifer,
that became a demon.
Something that became a demon.
And you see Dean's reaction to that too. He's like, "What? Like, what, you became a demon? Like,
I've never heard about that happening."
Yeah. So Kane does enter, and he's got a nice, lovely tea service, and he is talking about how beekeeping is really relaxing and how bees are declining and mankind's survival is dependent on bees. So we do get a little shot of Crowley like shaking his teacup a little bit, like he's so scared.
He's so scared. Mm-hmm. And then he did something, and then my notes just say, "Stop being so distractingly attractive." I don't remember what he was doing.
Well, he does. Oh, this is when he wants to know why the King of Hell and a Winchester are doing together and doing there. And Crowley starts to start talking and telling Crowley bullshit, and he just shushes him, and it makes Crowley not able to talk anymore.
Oh, yeah.
And Dean's pretty impressed with this as well. But he finally says that we are looking for the first blade to kill Abaddon, and we used a spell. We weren't looking for you, Kane. We used a spell to find the fucking blade, and it brought us here.
And he didn't want to come between Kane and the demonic AARP. Dark.
Yeah. And Kane's like fidgeting with his ring the whole time, and is very concerned if anybody else knows that they're there. And Dean's like, no. And all I can think about is, well, Tara does. And I don't know how far along that demon got.
And just when you think that, we cut to the pawn shop, and Tara's knee is just going off.
It's going off and she hasn't repainted her devil's trap yet. And our bar demon has entered and wants to know where his friends are, and she shoots him.
Well, because she didn't fix her devil's trap because she shot her floor like a dumbass. And
right? Yeah. Or at least like repaint it right away. Like, what the fuck, Tara?
You're asking for it. Especially if you're just like, I just met the King of Hell. I would probably be doubling up on my shit. Yeah. I would probably have some extra protections going on. But she grabs her shotgun and you hear her body hit the floor. But that's it.
That's all we hear.
All I want to do is...
But Kane's not fucking interested in Dean and Crowley's pitch. And he's like, y'all can leave. And Dean's like, not leave him without the blade. And Kane's like, yeah, sorry, you didn't know this, but I actually built and trained the Knights of Hell myself, including Abaddon. And Dean's like, what the fuck, Crowley? Why did you not, you just didn't think to tell me shit? Come on. And Kane's like, yeah, it wasn't archangels killing the knights. It was me. I'm the one that killed the fucking knights. And, Dean asks him, why did he turn on his own? And Kane just basically tells Dean that he's really fucking brave for asking what kind of questions he asks. And he's like, I'm going to go run some errands in town. Y'all get the fuck out and never come back. And all I could think about is in American Psycho, he's like, I have to go return some videotapes. I don't know why, but that's where my brain went when he said, I'm going to go run errands.
Yeah. So he goes, basically tells him to go away. And Dean's just like, well, he's going to the store. Let's steal the blade.
Yeah, let's go. Let's break into Kane's house and steal the blade.
This seems really stupid. I feel like Dean is being very reckless.
Yeah. Well, he is. He's fixated because he feels guilty about the Sam bullshit. And he's mad about Kevin. And he doesn't know what to do with himself. And if he can kill Abaddon, he feels like he's doing something. So, ta-da. That's what he's doing. Back in the bunker. We've got...
Yeah. Cass wanted to know why Sam chose to live and why he chose Dean over the trials.
Yeah. And Sam gets kind of like defensive and he's like, well, then Dean made a choice for me. And, I could have closed hell. I could have done all these other things. But
could you have? And I feel like this gets really weird, right? Like... Yeah. They keep saying that Sam chose to stop the trials, but I think they just kind of stopped on their, without them stopping, right? I think they all just...
Well, I think it's like you never know. You don't know. Because Sam was dying by trying to do them. And so you don't know if he would have been successful and then died, or if he would have died before they finished. Yeah. And there's not a way to know. There's no
way to know.
There's no way. So, anyways. And so Sam's like, I just have to find... Gadriel so I can fix this, because being human means you settle your debts.
No, I think that's just being a Winchester. But if you want to take off your shirt and be tortured by Castiel, then oh my God, please put away that very large needle.
Yeah, it has a big creepy needle in a creepy medical chair.
And I do just kind of wonder, like, did y'all ever think that maybe they just made that needle that way because it was 1940s and y'all could remake that needle, like, and just, like, probably do that in a different way? Like, just take their ideas and maybe translate them to 20, whatever year this was? Just saying. I think maybe you could have gotten a different needle.
You think?
I'm just saying.
It does not look, anyways, it looks terrifying. So back at Kane's place, Crowley and Dean are inside. Crowley is not happy about it. And Dean finally notices a picture on the mantle.
But also, like, what is Dean expecting? Like, is he going to look in his underwear drawer? Like, where do you, like, I'm just going to put my first blade, like, here's the place that you can find when I'm at the store?
Of course not. I know. It's silly. You're right. It's just so reckless and silly and just to drive the story. But he notices a picture of Colette is her name on the mantle, and she's wearing a ring that looks a lot like the ring that Kane wears. So as they're searching, we get our bar demon pulls up in a kind of cool off-roading pickup truck and makes a phone call.
Yeah, I kind of liked it.
Not gonna lie, like blacked out, and, like Matt blacked out.
It was so douchey, but I love it.
I know. And he makes
if I drove it as a chick, it wouldn't be douchey. It would be badass.
Right. That's how that works.
Yeah.
But he is making a phone call for...
On a cell phone, too. And not a blood bowl. Just so disappointed.
Well, half his face is shot. And his face gets stuck to the cell phone because it's all shot up with the buckshot.
That's why you have speaker mode, dude. Do Bluetooth on this truck.
Well... We've got Cass is extracting Grace from Sam's neck, and it is very painful for Sam, obviously. And he starts having these crazy flashbacks because apparently his body is reverting to where it was before he got possessed.
This is stupid.
But they don't have enough, but they hadn't got enough Grace yet, and he's in agony, but he tells Castiel to continue.
He does not say he says to push it in deeper. And now at this point, like, this is so dumb that I just wonder if it was an excuse for them to, like, put double entendres in here and just, like, have it, because everything he says just, there's a lot of double entendres in this episode, I'm just saying. And I'm wondering if there's so many that I can't help but wonder if it was on purpose.
I mean, I guess. Ugh. Well, Dean and Crowley have continued searching and didn't find anything, but he shows Crowley the picture of Colette. And then
Crowley says that he couldn't find porn. And I'm like, look at that wonderful man. He does not have Astrigel 69 just laying around. He reads classy erotica.
Well, we've got... Kane is back when they know that he's back, and they try to get out the door in time, but they cannot. He's standing there with his bag of groceries.
With kale on the top of it. Take me now, Murder Daddy.
And we've got about half a dozen demons outside hanging out now, including our bar demon, and saying that, Tara was very chatty after he peeled her skin off. And he just wants to collect Crowley and Dean so that he can impress his new boss, a.k.a. Abaddon.
I don't think that demon could have taken Tara.
No, probably not.
I think Tara would have kicked that demon's ass. I think this is stupid.
I agree. And so Kane's like, what the fuck, Dean? You exposed me. That was... You've been brave, but once again, impulsive. And if you survive this, then you can join me for my last meal in this house before I disappear again. So I'm going to go cook now.
Cooking with Kane.
So, Castiel's still extracting shit from this Grace from Sam's neck. Only Sam doesn't look so good now. And
don't stop.
Yeah, but we've got to find Gadriel, blah. And Cass is like, why are Winchesters always running toward death? I learned about the value of life when I was a human, and y'all haven't even figured this shit out. And Sam's like, well, it's not... I'm not worth more than anyone else, and I just need your help so I can do the right thing.
You're not worth more than anything else, but also you need to stop fucking acting like a goddamn martyr.
Yeah.
So keep going. Like I swear, he says, "Keep going, don't stop, keep going." Like it's in the fucking script. Anyway, so I also have a strong feeling Jared Padalecki was milking that for all it's worth it, like, and just trying to make Misha laugh. So we go from that, and then we go to this house, and god damn it, that fridge is amazing, just with the handle on it. It's so
vintage fridge.
That vintage fridge is so good, and just all of Kane's vegetables just look fantastic, and that is not a double entendre. Like, these are just really hot vegetables.
But I'm very confused why he has so many ears of corn, because he told them to leave. How much corn was this man going to eat on his own?
Maybe it was like 4 for $1, because that's usually what it is. So
he had like 7. He had like 7 ears of corn there. I was like, what the fuck is happening here? How much corn are you eating, sir?
Some.
But his carrots make, like, what is that cowboy orange. Chow or that cowboy caviar? Maybe he's making some of that or something.
I want some cowboy caviar. That sounds so good.
Anyways, so it was just funny that he had that much. I was like, what the fuck? That's a lot of corn for one man.
Yeah, corn's not in cowboy. I guess it is. It's mainly black.
I've seen it in some, not all. It depends.
Anyhow, all right. So enough on the corn and the kale and the carrots. All right. So, and also the stove. So Kane wants the fight to start, and he just lets 2 demons in.
So he's like, yeah, I'm just going to, I don't care that you barricaded the door. I'm just going to magic move this over and let demons in for you to fight. Let's see what happens. And so Dean has his demon blade, of course. But before he can attack the 2 that are right in front of him, one came in from behind. So the other door is open too. So Kane is strategically letting them trickle in.
It was something crashed through these weird glass doors that he has in between the living room and the kitchen, which were only there so people can break them.
Yeah. But we have a big fight, and Dean kills our bar demon first. And then we have a really, really pretty impressive fight scene, honestly. This is a really good one with Dean and this female demon and this other male demon. And then Crowley is just kind of
just watching this pretty much.
Kane's just sitting at the table with his corn.
Yeah, or also, like, there's a reason that, So he's sitting there watching this corn, and then the demon gets up the front to Crowley.
Yeah, and Crowley was watching, but then he's like, oh shit, there's a demon here. So he's going to kill this. He uses his angel blade to kill this one demon, and then just goes back to watching Dean fight the other demons. And finally, he's able to fight both of them and kill both of them, while Kane has decided to enjoy a beer while he watches.
Yeah, and that's why I'm drinking beer this episode, because I saw this. I was like, damn, that beer actually looks really good. So I had to get beer when I was at the store today. So we go through that. Kane gets a beer. Dean kills the last demon and is like, wait a minute. Is this a test?
And Kane's like, yeah, you're a kindred spirit. Dean's like, but I didn't kill my brother. I never give up on family, ever. And then Kane's like, well, where is he?
Yeah. How many times do you guys keep fighting with each other, right?
And also, I don't have the blade anymore. It's gone. So...
Uh-oh.
Back in the bunker, Sam is now bleeding from not only his nose, but one of his eyes. Like, what the fuck is happening? Like, I don't know how that's happening, but he's bleeding from his eye. And, anyways,
And Cam.
They're still extracting.
I have like Kane and Cass like right on top of each other in my notes, and they were just becoming this thing. So Cass is like now just looking at the sandwiches,
longingly,
right? And he's just like, man, if I can't get this PB&J, I don't know if I can be inside you anymore. So he takes it out and tells Sam that all the grace is gone.
Yeah, but then he also boops Sam and heals him completely. After all this, he just heals him completely? What the fuck?
Yeah, and then Cass is just like, you know what, like, being human means that I can have guilt, and I know that, and I know what it's like to mean to feel sorry. Old me would have jammed that needle in deeper until you died. But PB&J has taught him that angels and maybe even Winchesters can change.
So deep. Fucking PB&J.
It's amazing
man.
what that one little sandwich can do.
It's amazing. So back at Kane's place, Crowley is asking again, like, where is the blade if it's gone? The spell brought us to you, and he's like, no, that's because I'm the source of its power, but the blade itself is not fucking here. And he shows them.
Take off your shirt.
Rolls up. He does not take off his shirt. I'm sorry.
But at least we get a forearm. We get a little forearm.
We get a little forearm. It's like an ankle, but not. So he rolls up his sleeve.
It's the man equivalent of a woman showing her ankle.
And we see he has like this red like scar that they call the mark of Cain. It looks like a red scar, like a red chelated scar. That's what it looks like. And Crowley looks
like a really bad frat boy burn. Brand, like
branding. Yeah, that's what it looks like. You're right.
I hope they don't. I don't know. I would kind of hope they still do that, just because they're asked. Anyhow, so
Crowley does like the sign of the cross at this.
Yeah.
And apparently, this mark was given by Lucifer himself. And basically, without the mark, the blade is useless, and it is a jawbone, is what we get confirmed here.
But they don't say what animal. They just say a jawbone of an animal.
Yes.
But I believe that actually you are correct. That
sheep.
I think or a ram.
Yeah,
like whatever sheep they would have in the Middle East. Because I don't think they're like our kinds of sheep. I mean,
they're not floofy sheeps.
Maybe they're floofy. I don't know. But can you be floofy in the desert? It seems like it'd be hot.
I don't know.
I don't know. Tell me, if you live in the desert, are your sheep floofy? Slide into my DMs and tell me about your floofy sheep. So
they're talking shit though about Cain killing Abel, and Cain's like, hold on, Abel wasn't talking to God. He wasn't God's favorite.
He was talking to Lucifer.
Oh, and Lucifer was going to make Abel his pet. So I, to save my brother, went and made a deal with Lucifer. And he said that, I can get Abel's soul can go to heaven if my soul goes to hell. But the rule is I had to send Abel's soul there. So I had to kill my brother so that he wouldn't be, I had to kill my brother so he'd go to heaven and not be Lucifer's bitch.
Which is now sounding very much like a Winchester.
It does.
That sounds exactly like something a Winchester would do. Specifically this Winchester.
Very
Specifically
much.
Dean.
Yes.
Dean, this is exactly something that you would have done.
Yep.
And so, but this is, we have now twisted this, which is why
biblical,
I read you the biblical. And to be fair, and to be clear, the story of Cain reaches across all the Abrahamic religions. So it's in the Quran. It is in the King James Bible. It's in the Hebrew Bible. This is a story, but there are other stories that go back further than this of similar things within, the Babylonians, things that preceded this religion. So probably also just because it's the moral of the story is don't get fucking pissed off and kill your brother over stupid shit.
Yeah.
So apparently that's a story that needs to be told a bunch of times.
Which is weird. Which is concerning a little bit, but okay.
So anyhow, but beyond that parable, I think this flip is really interesting.
No,
right?
It's super clever story writing, super clever canon adjustment. I really like it.
Because it makes sense, right? You can fit this into there. Like, oh, no wonder he had to do it.
Yeah.
And like I said, it sounds like a Winchester thing.
It does. So when this happened, so Cain had to kill Abel, so Abel's soul would go to heaven, and then immediately Abel became a soldier of hell, and then he created the knights, and they did horrible things for centuries, until he met Colette, and
she loved him unconditionally.
Yes, and didn't care what he knew, and did not care what he had been before, as long as he stopped, and so. When he stopped, the knights found out and took her. So he slaughtered them all except one. So we flash back to 1863 again.
This flashback is okay.
And Cain's with the jawbone.
This is the only time where I will allow the flashback.
Oh, you like this one?
This flashback is fun.
Okay. So we got our dead demons, and then we find the quote-unquote knight that they were protecting is Colette, possessed by Abaddon.
Abby.
And basically she reveals that I guess Kane had a relationship with Abaddon. It's implied.
Well, look at him.
I mean, I don't blame her. But so apparently they had a thing. And then, so she's saying through Colette, if I can't have you, then neither can she. And is just taunting and snapping her bones and just taunting Kane and physically harming Colette's body while possessing it. And it's very distressing to watch. And then right as Kane goes to stab Colette's body with this bone, Abaddon cocksmokes out. So Abaddon escapes. And
when she cocksmokes out, it's black.
Yeah, which is weird.
I was confused. I don't because she's a redder, right? Because she's a knight and her cocksmoke's red, right?
I don't remember because it's been so long since she's had to go in and out of somebody. God damn it.
The things I make you say. Okay, all right. So cocksmoke is gone. It's black. I thought she should have red.
Colette's dying, and she's like, and she's like, Kane, do not go after her. There's been too much fucking death. You just need to stop. You just need to stop. Let it go. And he's very sad about it. But he buries her and walks away from being a knight and everything, and the revenge and everything.
Seems
and then,
like a good choice.
Yeah. So we cut back to their present, and Dean's like, "Well, we have to stop Abaddon, so I need the fucking blade. That's all there is to it." And Kane's like, "Look, I'm gonna walk away from this. Fuck that." And so Dean's like, fuck this, I'm going to put a knife to you and threaten you physically now, which is a weird choice. Crowley looks really freaked out about this. And Kane actually moves Dean's hand and makes Dean stab him.
Yep, and it does nothing. So now we know the demon blade doesn't work on Kane.
No, but Kane does poof out, and there are a fuck ton of demons outside. That's where we're at now.
Fuck ton indeed.
Yeah. And Kane goes, where he poofed to though, is to visit Colette's grave. He said he knows who and what he is, and he knows that she's been looking over him, and so now he wants her to look away.
Don't look at me, ghost!
Oh, that's sad.
It is very sad, but also it's like, don't watch me, ghost!
Creeper,
creepy fucking ghost. Leave
me alone.
Anyway, so Kane snaps back and basically tells Dean that what now?
You're worthy of the mark, so I can give this to you too.
How did we get here?
I don't know. He's transferring his mark to Dean though.
What? How did we skip this part?
I don't know how it got here, but all we know is the mark is what powers the blade.
Escalated quickly.
Yeah, but he's like, "You're worthy." Is that a good thing?
I don't know.
Is that an insult?
I don't feel like this is all. I don't think this is a good idea. But
But Dean doesn't want to ask any questions because, of course, Kane wants to.
Can kill the bitch?
Yeah, and Kane's like, "Well, there's a burden and great cost," and Dean's like, "I don't fucking care. Let's go.
Let's go for it. I want to have forearm sex with you."
They do have forearm sex.
They do have forearm sex.
They press their forearms together firmly.
Dean should have been like, "Hey, do I want to have the mark of Kane on me?" Or maybe, what is the mark of Kane?
What does it mean?
Who's Kane? I just met you a minute ago.
Yeah. Yeah. That's it. And I've heard two different stories now. You've told me one side. I know the one I already knew, and that's all I got. There's no one corroborating any of these stories. No one's corroborated any of these. Neither of them are great.
You're an immortal who has to walk the earth and train the Knights of Hell. After you got this mark, sure, give it to me.
Yeah. So we get weird red veins from one hand, from Kane's arm goes up Dean's arm, and Dean ends up with a mark.
And then we learn he ain't got the fucking blade.
He's like, yeah, by the way, nothing can destroy the blade, so I threw it in the bottom of the deepest ocean, and I can't, I
can't swim.
And Dean's, of course, Crowley like rolls his eyes.
With that Kraken essence.
Get that Kraken essence, and there's even more demons have gathered outside this house at this point, and Kane's like, look, here's the deal: you find the fucking blade, you kill Abaddon, but here's the deal: when I call you, you must find me and use the blade on me. Period. The end. That's it. Why? Because for what I'm about to do. And he poofs Dean and Crowley outside to baby, and all the demons are in the house. They all get in, and then we see red lights. I guess he killed all the demons.
And, I mean, honestly, though, I know you promised you were going to stop the killing, but they're fucking demons. Like, who gives a shit?
I don't know.
So the place fills with red smoke, and they drive away, and we cut to the bunker, and Cass and Sam are making a spell. This is really the best day of Food Network on this show. We have had so many cooking. We had cooking with Kane. We have Cass's sandwich, his best sandwich ever. Now we have
Tara's.
We had Tara's
Kraken recipe.
Kraken recipe. Yeah, I mean, I feel like this is a pretty good day on the Food Network. So they make the spell.
Yeah. And then, so it looks like it's going to do something. And then it just kind of fizzles out. And apparently they did not have enough grace. But now the grace is gone, which seems really wasteful of the grace.
Seems wasteful of grace.
Not cool.
Especially doesn't Cass need that? And did he know this wasn't enough? I felt like he knew this wasn't enough.
I feel like it too. I think he did it on purpose. But anyways, Sam is super fucking bummed. But he tells Castiel that Castiel's right about everything. And Sam hugs Cass and then has to tell Cass to hug him back because it's real awkward.
Hey, and people have to tell me that too. So Cass thinks Metatron is the key.
Yes, to fix everything. So they need to find him. But Cass also thinks that they need help. AKA, they need to call Dean.
Stop being a little smut. Will you two stop fighting already? Oh my god, it's so annoying when you fight. But Sam's just like, nope, I got this on my own. Just need you. Don't need anybody else. La la la. Never learn.
Yeah. But since Dean and Crowley are the ones out on a mission right now, they pull up to the side of a waterfront, which is very much something that Sam and Dean would typically do. So it's kind of funny. But anyways, and Crowley is like that, by the way, Kane was right. You are worthy. Nobody hates you. And then Dean's like, what the fuck? This pillow talk, which bullshit feelings going on. And he's like, no one hates you more than yourself.
Yeah, no one hates you more than you do. And that's fucked up. You need therapy.
Yeah. So Crowley's like, I'm going to go search the bottom of the ocean for the blade.
How?
Because he's
Crowley, but how do you do that? There's a lot of ocean. How do you Richard Branson that shit? I don't understand it.
I don't know. But Dean says, hold on, and decides to call him out. He noticed that Crowley killed that one demon, then sat back when they were at Kane's. And basically, he pieces together through the whole story, and I did not until this point, so maybe I was oblivious. But basically, it was all
well done. It was not that you're oblivious. It was just well done.
It was all a setup. And we go back and show cuts of Crowley and how he was reacting to certain things. And this was 100% a setup. He knew that they were going to find Kane. He knew that Dean would be worthy of the mark. He knew that they were going to have to go find the blade. Basically, I don't know if he knew that part exactly, but he knew that he would not be able to get the blade from Kane. He knew that Dean would. So he had to enlist Dean's help to be able to get the blade from Kane, to be able to defeat Abaddon. And that's all there was to it. So this was all a fucking setup. And Dean is pissed because fucking not only did he get played and used, but Tara's died.
Dead.
Tara's dead. And Crowley doesn't really care.
He will never know that mother either. So, sorry.
Damn.
That was hard.
So Dean punches Crowley in the face.
Yeah, like you do.
So,
after I kill Abaddon, you're next.
Yeah, and Crowley's like, look, even with the blade, we're gonna need a lot of fucking help against Abaddon. And he poofs out.
It's always something with you boys.
And Dean stares at the mark.
Yep.
Probably now wondering what the fuck he did.
Probably wondering, shit.
What does this mean?
What this? This kind of itches. What'd I do? All right.
Do I need ointment?
Do I need an ointment? Is this VD? So, all right. Let's talk about. I think you may have some.
I do have some cast.
Casting couch. It's the casting couch. Were they on that show that time with that guy? La 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 la.
Yeah. So we'll start with. Oh no, we're gonna save it for last. We'll start at the other end of my list. We'll start with what I called our bar demon, and in the IMDb they call it our trucker demon. It was played by.
He's not a trucker. That's not a truck. He drives a truck. He is not a trucker.
I think they are implying that maybe that
he has a trucker hat.
Maybe he had a backstory. On. Maybe he has a backstory we didn't get to.
Okay.
But Ryan Alexander McDonald. He's been actually in a couple episodes of Supernatural. He was also been in episodes of iZombie, Flash, Kung Fu, and The Good Doctor. Percy was played by Jason Cermak, and that has been in episodes of Once Upon a Time, Psych, Hell on Wheels a couple times, Fargo, Zoo almost a dozen times, Supergirl, Altered Carbon, Billy the Kid, the series, and Superman and Lois, the new one. He had a small bit part in 50 Shades of Grey and has done a lot of Hallmark as well. Colette, and also Possessed Colette, was played by Anna Galvin. She's in a couple episodes of Supernatural as well. Actually, everybody is all the cast we're talking about today are in more than one episode of Supernatural. So, Anna Galvin was in episodes of Clueless, the TV show, all the iterations of Stargate series, Blood Ties, Eureka, the show Tin Man. She's in a few episodes of that. Once Upon a Time, and iZombie. She was Gina, which is a reoccurring character in Smallville, and was Avery in Van Helsing, another reoccurring character. Tara was played by Rachel Hayward. She's been in episodes of The Commish, Highlander, Stargate shows, Xena, Warrior Princess, True Calling, Battlestar Galactica, and Painkiller Jane. She was Panama in the movie Y2K, Adelie in the Call of the Wild series, Allison in Hellraiser Hellseeker, and the Cougar in Buddy Games. Also has been in a lot of Hallmark.
Yeah, and I figured the entire name for her character in Lock and Key was Tara Larson.
Okay.
And that is what she was named after.
Did I watch that? Maybe I did. Was that the one with little kids?
It's on TV.
Did I watch that on
Netflix? It's a comic book series, and it's also a TV show.
No. I think I might have watched some of it on Netflix. Anyway, so then last but definitely not least, the Murder Daddy himself, Kane, is played by...
Yeah, if he's at a con, that's what I'm having him sign things as Murder Daddy.
Kane is played by Timothy Omenson. Funny side note, he was born in Missouri. Here we go. I'm just amused by that. Because of the Missouri tie-in. All right, episodes of Seinfeld, Married with Children, Days of Our Lives multiple times, Frasier, Xena a handful of times, NYPD Blue, Deadwood a handful of times, The OC, CSI, all of them, and 24 a couple of times. He Cold Case, Jericho, and he was an episode of Lucifer. He was psychic in Starship Troopers, that movie. Agent Thomas in the movie Swordfish. He was an agent in Mission Impossible 3. He is was a reoccurring character over 120 episodes as Carlton Lassiter / Archie Baxter in Psych. That also includes the 3 TV movies of Psych. He was King Richard in Gallivant, and Gregory in This Is Us.
It's
also
very
done
disappointed to know how many episodes of Psych he's been in.
Yeah.
For those of you podcasts who don't know, I went to high school with the main character of that show, and he was mean to me. So now I was just like, how dare you get to gaze onto the beauty of Timothy? You don't deserve it, mister. You know who you are, sir. If you listen to this episode, if you listen to our podcast. Yes, we went to high school, and now you are starring in Psych. And the woman who has a podcast and the television show Supernatural is calling you out. Is calling you out.
There we go.
Oh, Lord. I mean, the thing is, like, he was such a jerk that he couldn't even be my end to Timothy. That's what's sad. I can't get my murder daddy because of you. The high school bullying continues. No, his career, honestly, is just ridiculous. It's ridiculously good. I can't believe he's in Supernatural.
Yeah. He's also done a lot of voice work in Star Wars video games. Interesting.
Yeah.
So, yeah. That's what we got.
That's what we got. All right. So, what did you think? Besides Murder Daddy, which I know,
well, yeah,
no one's gonna be mad at Murder Daddy.
No one's mad at Murder Daddy. No, I think it was a really well done episode. Number one. Yes, there's the annoying Sam and Dean shit where you like roll your eyes and want to flip a table, like, ugh. But it was such a good episode that I actually wasn't even that mad about it. Does that make sense?
Yeah, and I think, you were clearly surprised by the twist.
Yeah, it was a good twist. And they set it up so well.
Twist.
All of it.
There's a lot of twists, yeah.
Yeah, and they set it up well, and it wasn't like forced or like, you know what I mean? Sometimes a twist, you're like, oh, cool, change the whole story. But like, it didn't really undo anything that happened. It just changed the motive. You know what I mean? Like it didn't fuck up what you had just sat through. Because sometimes when that happens in a twist, you're pissed. But yeah, I think it was really interesting watching Crowley and Dean's interaction, the whole thing. I think that watching Sam and Cass together is interesting. We haven't.
Well, especially because, we don't get that often.
No.
He's Dean's boyfriend, not Sam's.
Yeah. So it was just that, I think that was interesting dynamic. And I think that it moved forward, you had to have the character. I think it gave time for the character development and processing of Sam, of the situation and how he's going to handle things, which I think was important. I mean, they didn't have to do it because sometimes they do skip over those things because it's a television series, but I think that was critical. And then letting Dean not process anything because Dean doesn't process things.
No, it's not his strong suit. I would say it's not a strong suit. No. I think he was, obviously there's a lot of recklessness in it in this episode, and we got much more reiteration that John Winchester was a shitty human being, or at least made really bad choices. John Winchester made bad choices.
Dick.
Yeah, he just did not treat other people well.
No.
And sometimes it's something you got to think about. But however, beyond. If you cannot tell how much I'm in love with Murder Daddy, it was extremely.
Now, is it Kane or Timothy? That's what I want to know.
Poor Kane
or
yes.
Yes is the answer. Okay. I'm just curious.
You'll see more, but he's just like a very, very distractive. He's very distractive. And a brilliant actor, and I just think he brings a lot to the character and does a lot to the show, but also he just does. I'm not bad to look at, and I think that's about all I have on this episode. I'm glad Murder Daddy is here, and now we shall progress because that was episode 11, and we still have many more. We're halfway through the season, but many more things will come. So if you have nothing else. Cheers, sir.
Cheers, bitch.
Devil's Trap Podcast is a Don't Get It production. Meow.
Devil's Trap Podcast is part of the Ship It Studios Podcast Network. Thanks for listening to this week's episode of Devil's Trap Podcast. You can follow us on Instagram at Devil's Trap Podcast, Twitter at Devil's Trap Pod, or you can email us at devilstrap@devilstrappodcast.com. Don't forget to subscribe, leave reviews, and share with all your friends. We're at all your favorite podcast outlets and at devilstrappodcast.com. I'm Babe. Thanks for tuning in, and we'll see you next time.